Hello and welcome. It's Kara. It's been a while since we've seen each other face to face. Today I wanted to talk about what you do if you mess up in your junk journal. I have been working on my tall autumn themed junk journal and I messed up. I messed up a few times, not just once, but several. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to show you how I fixed it. Prior to making junk journals, I was terrified. I was afraid of making the journal because I was afraid to mess up. I was afraid I'd mess up the stitching or sewing in the signatures or cutting the papers. And I just wanted to tell you, if you're new to junk journaling, or remind you if you've done it for a while and there's things that still make you nervous, that it's okay to mess up in junk journaling. It's the fantastic thing about this craft. You can mess up and there's probably a million ways you can fix it. Sometimes it just takes a little rethinking and maybe stepping away for a minute to reassess the project and what you need to do differently, but you can usually fix it. So I wanted to show you. You can even see the remnants of my mess up. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. But we've gone from what I'm going to show you to this, and I think it was a big improvement. So let's jump into the video. Alright, so at this point, things are still going well with the front cover. I've made the patchwork, I did my sewing, and now I am gluing over the edges so that they fold into the inside of the cover, and everything is going well. Let's skip ahead to when things go awry. And here we are. I've selected really fun backdrops from the Tim Holtz paper packs, and I have two of the same, so I thought this would be perfect for the inside cover and the outside cover. So here I've cut my three pieces. I have my spine section, the front cover, and the back cover. But notice how the front and back cover up the spine area. That means that I have gone way too far in instead of trimming it. Not only did I cut the papers too wide, I glue them down without adding my ribbon closure. This isn't a big deal. I could have decided to make some eyelets and add ribbon later, but I really wanted to have the ribbon closure. So I'm going to stick these down really well, really well, and then realize I didn't add the ribbon. Then I decide to take the paper off, hoping it doesn't rip and that it's not too dry. So here I am removing the paper carefully. You'll see that white part, I did mess up, but again, I'll fix that later. And the spine was too far gone. It was already dry. So here I am with my ribbon, and I think it matches perfectly. And then I'm going to cut some and lay it down before I reapply my already glued, that needs more glue, pages. So the pages are glued on again, and my ribbon goes through, and it's going to make a wonderful closure. And then I fold over my cover, and this is where I realize, oh man, I didn't cut my pages the way I should have. They are too big, and you see the pages folding in on itself. It's just a hot mess. So then I'm deciding, do I leave it, or what am I going to do with it? There's probably lots of ways that I could have approached this. I decided the third time's the charm. So I take this paper off yet one more time. And then I'm going to trim where the fold is, and hope that in trimming it, it will then go over the folded area of my cover, and it will be okay. Bad words might have been said there. After I took a moment and turned up the video, I started recording again. And I decided, okay, I've got this. I can do it. So I'm folding over the edge, and I'm going to use my scissors, and I'm going to trim the folded area. It's not perfect. It is cut a little wonky, but I think it turns out much better than what it was before. I'm making sure not to cut the ribbon that I just carefully put in there as my closure, and I'm going to cut along the folded line. Again, there might have been 100 other ways to fix it. Really, my point in this video is even when it looks like it's the biggest mess and there's no there's no hope, there really is. Junk journaling is so cool that way. There's usually a way to fix it. And I just love that. Love, love, love that about this craft that we all love. And it's not perfect. Well, the name says junk journal. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's handmade. It's yours. It's do what you love to do. And if it's sew with paper and glue and cut, just do those things. And then that's what makes it so special. And if you mess up, it's okay. It's okay. Just keep going. All right, so to help with the spine area that has all the paper pieces ripped out of it, I'm just going to attach another piece to cover up the part that has been ripped on the top, because I'm also going to add a pocket at the bottom. You can't really see it because it's a tall journal and it doesn't really fit in the screen so much, but below the paper there's a couple inches still of uncovered inside cover. So what I decided is to make a pocket. So after I glue this down, I think it helps cover up the mess up there. And you'll see on either side of where I trimmed, it's not straight, it's not perfect, but the journal will fold and it's way more functional and it's not as bulky. And I do think once the signatures are in, it will look just fine. See, I think it looks better already. So let's jump ahead to the pocket. All right, for the pocket, I used a piece of the Tim Holtz fabric that I used on the front cover. I did some sewing around, some zigzag on the top of the pocket and then around the other corners. And I'm just going to glue this on, and then that will cover up the bottom where the paper isn't long enough, and the inside spine, it will cover up there as well. And I think it looks fantastic. I think it was a great solution to the problem. All right, so here is the pocket. I did the gluing and then I went back and did some sewing around so it's nice and secure to the front. Again, you'll see the kind of the mess up, you'll see the file folder behind, but again, when the signatures are in, I think it'll be just fine. I like how the pocket looks and it covers up the fact that the paper doesn't go all the way. I like that my ribbon closure is in, and yeah, I think it's looking fantastic. Just took a little haggling and a little rethinking, but I think it turned out really well. So go grab that junk journal you might have tucked away because there was a mess up, pull it out, and I bet you'll find a way to fix it. And if you've never done junk journaling before, get yourself a file folder and some scrap papers and go for it. You can always find a way to fix it. Well, as always, I hope you have a wonderfully crafty day, and I will see you in the next video. All right, bye-bye.